In this video, you are going to learn how to animate a static image using Adobe After Effects.
I need to take a new composition. Just go to the composition and take a new composition. The shortcut is Ctrl plus N in PC and Command plus N in Mac and type image 1. I am giving the name as image 1. Just frames, just I need 24 frames per second is enough, and just duration is 10 seconds. Just please click OK, and I want to drag this image over here into this comp. This is a still image. Just we are going to animate this and decrease the size a little bit. Just press S, the shortcut is S, and decrease the size a little bit. And I want to separate this crow from this background. So instead of using the pen tool, just I want to use a rotoscope tool here. Just click this button over here. This is known as roto brush. Just click it, and now double click our image. Alright, now we are going to see some circle over here. So what this circle is going to do means it will increase we can increase the size or decrease the size by pressing the Control in PC and Command in Mac, and we can increase the size a little bit and we can decrease the size as well, just by pressing the Control and Command in Mac. Alright, just now I want to cut this, I want to separate this crow from this background. So I want to select here. So I want to select the object, whichever part I need separate from this background. So I want to select that part. So I'm selecting this crow. Now we are going to see some greenish color is there. So alright, and now just I want to separate the stick as well. So I want to decrease our brush size little bit. Press Control in PC and Command in Mac. Just I'm going to select this one as well. Just alt Z. Alright, and just once go back to our main comp, we can see a little bit and just alright, just I want to, some unwanted thing is there, just we can remove it by just go to the keying and just go to the color range and select here. I don't want to see this crow and the stick, so I want to clean the background. Just first of all, just I want to duplicate our image, just Ctrl plus D and rename it to background. Just remove the roto brush in this color range and just once solo it and just go to the pen tool, and I want to select the pen tool and I want to cut it manually for the first. Go to the mask and select subtract over here, and just now I want to fill this area with this area. So this transparent area, I want to cover this transparent area with this background area. So instead of going to Photoshop and instead of doing with the clone stamp tool, just here there is an amazing tool in Adobe After Effects. Just go to the window and select Content Aware Fill, and now we can see over here just what is this alpha expansion here. Just I am using the alpha expansion as 4. If we increase the value more, the expansion will increase more. Just here, just I need just 4 to 5 is enough. I am selecting it 4. And just in fill object we are going to see object, surface and edge blend. And first, in most cases just we can use only object instead of surface and edge blend. So what this object is going to do means this object will cover, it will clone the background image into the particular image here. So this area is going to fill with the background area. So that is the functionality of this object. In the same way, the surface is also going to do in the same way. And the edge blend means if you use the edge blend, you can save your time. That means the rendering process will take very less time other than this object and the surface. So in particularly in some cases when you are working on the text on the wall any object on the wall. In that cases the edge blend is more useful, but in this case I am going to use object over here and just arrange work area. Just I'm going to select the work area. Just here my work area is just only 3 frames per second, 3 frames. Just I don't want entire 10 seconds, and just I want to click the generate fill area over here. Generate fill area means it will give the process. Alright, now we can see it's totally finished now. And just one select, one solo it. See, this selected area is covered with this other, which the sky is there, it copies into the selected area. So this was the content aware where fill tool is used. This is an amazing tool. Instead of going to Photoshop and copying with the clone stamp tool, this is the best tool. So, and once just drag this fill under this image, and I want to select both the fill and the BG and go to the layer, and I want to pre-comp it and make it as background. It's alright. Just go to the compositing settings. The shortcut is Ctrl plus K, and I want to give it now back to 10 seconds. Drag this. Just go to over here. So before doing that, just go to the time and freeze the frame over here. Just now we can drag it and just go to the image and drag it over here. Alright, just we separated the crow and the background is separated. So before animating this crow, we have some issues over here. See, the edges are not at all clear. The edges are looking very some whitish borders. We are seeing this. For this reason, just before correcting this crow, just I want to use one tool called, just go to the matte and apply matte choker over here. And just I don't want to touch any other settings because the default settings is give me almost the 100% result, 75 to 70% result. Just I want to increase the geometric softness a little bit, make it some 5.5 and choke to 89, and just once turn on the transparent over here, and it's looking fine. Just now it's time to animate our crow. So sometimes when you see in the real life, the crows were always used to shout, they won't be sit silent. So I want to animate the mouth of this crow. Just before doing that, just I want to duplicate this image and rename it to crow mouth, and this one rename it to crow body, and just select it, and I want to select a pen tool over here, and just I need to cut this part, this mouth area of this crow. Alright, and just once solo it, and once enable the 3D over here. If you are not seeing the 3D, just toggle the switches over here or click F4, and this is the 3D, and just here the pivot point over here, and just I want to click this button or select, the shortcut is Y if you want to drag, and I want to drag it the pivot point to this corner. See, when you see our mouth will animate from this point, because I want to animate from here, so that's the reason just I want to keep this pivot point over here. And once go to this layer and select this masks and copy, Ctrl plus C, and just go to the crow body, and once I want to paste this crow body over here, once disable this solo, and here we are not seeing anything because the mask is in add mode. Just I want to keep it at subtract, and now our crow body is back. Alright, and once we are seeing some issues over here, so to rectify this issue, just I want to go to the mask path, and just I need to and then it adjusts this mask path like this. Alright, and everything is fine. Once solo the crow mouth and once solo the crow body, and just now go to the rotation, Z rotation, just start a keyframe over here, initial keyframe, and just go to 1 second, and just I want to give a little bit value over here, some around 9, some 9 is given, just, and again go to some 2 seconds, and just I need to give a little bit, and again go to after some 3 seconds, and again I want to give some value to 11, and again go to some 4 seconds, just make it to 0. The mouth will close, the crow mouth has to close at the time, and just select all the keyframes as usual, and once go to the graph editor and edit value graph, and just I want to tweak the settings a little bit of this graph little bit to achieve very smooth result. Just tweak the settings a little bit, and once we can see the result, and once give an expression, loop out, brasses, ping pong. So it's looking little bit, the animation is a little bit slow, just I want to arrange the keyframes near by near little bit. It should complete with the 2 frames, just entire. So I am arranging this all the keyframes in near by near, and once we can see the result, go to the preview and select it. Alright, yeah, I want to animate the crow's neck and the body and the tail. So for that reason, just I recomp both this crow body and crow mouth, and just in this main comp I rename this as main crow. And once you can solo it, and this is the crow and this is our background, and just with the help of puppet tool, now we are going to animate our crow's neck and the crow's tail. Just only these two things I have to animate, because in this case when the crow is standing in the on the wall or any sticks, the crow mostly used to, crow's functionality is only his neck and his mouth. Because alright, just now I need to place some puppet points on the tail, somewhat here, on the body. Just I'm placing the point on the body, but hip, center of the body, but in coming to animation, just I don't want to animate this puppet pin in the center of the body. And now I'm going to place the puppet point over here on the neck, crow's neck, and just increasing the little bit. Got it, and increasing the expansion a little bit, and change some value density to 10. Alright, and just I want to turn on the mesh over here because I don't want to see when I am going to animate this one, and just go to some 10th frame, and just I need to give some animation for this. Sorry, by mistake I didn't place the puppet pins in the stick. Just if you don't place the puppet pins on the stick when we are animating the neck of the crow, and this stick is also animate, so that stick is also follows this crow's neck. So I don't want to do it because it will looks very unrealistic. So I'm placing the puppet pins on the stick also here, and just now turn on the mesh and just go to some around the 10th frame, and just I need to animate the crow neck over here, just very little bit, because I need very realistic results. Just you have to be very keen while animating this kind of animations with particular static images, otherwise the result may look in very unrealistic. And again go to 20th frame, and just again the drag this pin little bit top. Alright, and just go to the deform now, and just open the puppet pin 3 I think, and select all the keyframes and press F9, and go to the graph editor over here and check it whether it's in edit speed graph or not. If it's not in edit speed graph, just select it into edit speed graph. And now I want to change this graph little bit according to my convenient, because I want the animation should be very smooth. And once we can see the result, alright, somewhere here in this point somewhere here the crow legs are also moving little bit, so I want to keep some pin over here, because now the legs are going to stick. And just I want to place one more pin over here, see, one more pin. Alright, now the stick and the legs are static, they are not at all following our crow's neck. Just go to the one's tail, and just I need to animate the tail part, and again go to the some 10th frame and animate little bit, and again 20th frame, just copy this frame, Control C and Control V, paste, and do it, or else you can do it manually by copying it. See, here also in this case the stick is little bit stretching with style, so I don't want it. So again I want to place one puppet pin over here and one more point over here. Alright, and once see the result, it's looking cool. And just convert the keyframes into ease in this. The shortcut is F9, and just go to the graph editor and select it. Yes, it's already in edit speed graph, just I want to adjust this graph little bit. Alright, and now just press Alt in PC and Option in Mac and give an expression as usual, loop out expression, type ping pong. Loop out ping pong. And once play the result, alright, it's looking very realistic. Just I'm very happy with this result. I want to add a camera animation for this scene just to look a little bit realistic result. Before doing that, just I want to turn it on our background into 3D and our main pro into 3D. And just I want to take one new layer and just one camera and rename the camera to dolly camera. And just once I want to take a one null object over here, and just I need to parent our camera to this null object, otherwise the null object won't work. Just once go to the custom view and just I want to place this background little bit far from our crow, and just I forgot to disable the roto brush for this crow, and just alright, and everything is fine. And just once we can go to our active camera and make our background scale little bit, because we have to see our background to fit for this entire composition. Just I want to scale it a little bit, make it around 150, and just I need to press P, shortcut for the position, and just go to some 5 seconds, just and take it 2 views, vertical and horizontal, because while when you are animating with the camera or you are using a camera, just always don't forget to take 2 views. Then it will help you a little bit and it will speed up your work a little bit. And this is top view, just I don't need top view, just I want to keep it as active camera. And this frame, just I need to make it as custom view. Yes, alright, just now I need to animate our null object little bit, and just I need to give little bit y direction as well. And once select the keyframes and press F9 and go to the graph editor, and just I want to adjust this curves little bit to achieve a smooth result. Just once we can see the result now. Alright, our camera animation and everything is looking realistic. And just now again I want to go to take one adjustment layer and just go to effects and go to the distort, and I want to take one transform just for shaking, little bit of shaking camera animation, how to give some realistic result. So once position and rotation, just go to 1 second, and I want to increase the value little bit, very little bit. Just here its default is 960, just I want to give it some 961, and the rotation also just from around 0.3. And copy the both keyframes, the first keyframe, and again go to 2 seconds, just paste it and select all the keyframes, press F9 and adjust this curves little bit. Okay, that's it guys, and just I want to give some expression over here. and copy this expression and paste in the rotation also as well. And once we can see the result. Alright, just we are seeing a little bit of shaking camera animation here, just how in real life it would be in the same way, just to give some realistic results. Created some additional color correction and additional elements. So just I used to take this mist. This is downloaded from internet. Just I will show you for the brief. And just this is a footage which I downloaded from the internet. And just I used to color correct this footage with the help of this curves, and I adjusted the curves little bit. And just in toggle switches, just go to the color layer mode, and in the layer mode, just I used to keep it as add from normal instead of using normal. And next, just I used to take one adjustment layer, and just I used to color correct little bit of the curves just once. Disable the curves now, and just we can see some darkness over the crow here. Just we can see with the help of to achieve the realistic look of the scene. And coming to this point, and I just take the exposure because for just I need to animate some blink effect over here. See here, we are using to see some blink effect over here. See what's this blink effect means? When you see in the real life, when it's raining, when it's cloudy, just you will see the sky will have some lighting and blinking effect. So for that reason I used to take this exposure, and just for one frame I animated. And next, after going to the 10th frame, just again I used to copy the same, Control plus C and Control V. Next, I used to take one rain. This is also stock footage which is downloaded from internet. You can find a lot of free stock footages in internet, which you can download it from there. And just I used to color correct with the help of curves, little bit curves. Just solo it first, and now we can see this. Control C, undo once. We can see when it's playing. I think it's the opacity is very less here, so once increase it, now we can see. And once unsolo it, and now again I want to decrease the opacity because the rain should be very less. For that reason, just I used to take 35. Alright, and just once play it how it's looking. Alright, just I am happy with this result.
If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and please hit a like button for this video.